everybody, I'm Chelsea. I am an artist. I take pictures, I do fiber art, and today we are going to be trying to do a yarn stash buster project. Actually, multiple projects. I start school next week and it's August and I'm in the mood for fall sweaters and fall knits. But before I go full in with that, I was like, I should probably try and use up some of my yarn stash. So I've been brainstorming this morning, just a little bit. And I have some ideas. I have this is 160 yards of drop bell and then drops bell, and then I have like this left over, and so I kind of was like trying to look for a project to use this, and I think I'm gonna do the dumpling bag or potentially a bandana, but I think that that's what I'm gonna do with this one. I also have this little sample from Pearl Soho. I don't know if, I guess it's called, oh goodness, we are not going to focus. Guess it's called Good Wool, but it's 100% wool. I think that I'm going to hopefully do the scarf out of this and then the bag out of this. That's kind of my thought process, but everything's up to change. My goal is just this week to kind of use up as much of this yarn as possible, spend my last week of freedom knitting and creating and whatever. I have one ball, I don't remember what this is called, cake. I have one cake of drops air left that I think I'm gonna make a hat, like a toboggan out of. And then I have a bunch of like literal scraps. I also have like this that I don't know what to do with. And so I've kind of just brainstormed a little bit of random ideas. So I really want to learn to make scrunchies. I've never done that before. Also, I thought bookmarks, and then I thought that that would be a good time to practice some color work. And then maybe like a glasses case. That's all my brainstorming so far, but I think I'm going to cast on either the scarf or the bag. Maybe I'll start with the bag, the dumpling bag. I believe that pattern's from Pearl Soho. I think I'll cast on that, and then if I get bored of doing that, then I'll move to either the scrunchies or bookmarks for a smaller project to kind of break it up. So that's my plan for this week. I thought I would bring you guys along with me and kind of just see what all we can get done this week. Like I said, I just want to try and knit as much as I can before my classes start. I start work and I can jump full into my fall knitting plans, which I'm so excited for. I have decided that I am over summer. It's August. I am pretending like it's pants weather. We are no longer wearing shorts. I hate shorts. And I put on Gilmore Girls. I'm going for fall. So let's enjoy the day, the week, grab some knitting, and join me. Okay, so I've cast on my dumpling bag. I think that the knits look really good. Like, I like this gauge a lot. But I used a provisional cast on, which I've actually never done before. So, nice learning project for me. I think I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and work on this because I need to get out of the house. So luckily, I'm just knitting stockinette in the round, so it's coming together pretty quickly. This is probably 3 to 4 hours. But yeah, I'm at It measures like 5.5 inches. I need to get to 7.5. So 2 more to go. So I'm actually pretty pleased with how much I've gotten done today. I've finished like the main section of the bag, and I've set up for the straps, so like I had to cast off and put some stitches on hold, and then oops, I've dropped some stitches here. Need to be more careful. But so I'm just ready to start with my straps tomorrow, but I think that I'm done for today. I've been knitting I knit for a long time today, actually, longer than I thought I would, which is good, great for me. I'm definitely pleased. I did, however, think that I would cast on multiple projects today, but I've just been working on this bag all day. It's been super simple. I've just been knitting in the round, so I'm ready to do the sleeves, not the sleeves, the straps tomorrow. And then, let's see, I don't know what I need to do, like, at the bottom, hold on. Oh, so I just, like, sew up the bottom. So, that's weird. I don't know why I needed. Seems like they made this a lot more difficult instead of just doing a normal cast on and then sewing it together, but at the end I'll tell you what I think would have been the better option. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed and read, and then we will see what we can get done tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. I've got my coffee here. I've got the taste down, but I still can't figure out the latte art. Today was one of my worst ones. So if anybody has tips, I cannot get it. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to start on my straps and watch some YouTube before I have some errands that I need to run. And then hopefully, I want to work on a scrunchie today, so hopefully I can get to that too. Maybe even more. So, we will see. Okay, so I finished the first strap, and I've never we did the Kitchener stitch, and I've done it before, but I've never really paid attention, I don't guess, to what it was doing, and I have come to the conclusion that I held it backwards because it looks like a pearl here. So, but I don't know for sure, so, but I think that's what I did. So I'm not gonna do anything with this tail yet. I'm gonna work the other strap and hold it the other way whenever I sew it on and see if it looks better, and if so, then I'll redo this. maybe. I'm a little nervous because once I unsew it, it's just live stitches, which that makes me nervous. But also, like, we could totally turn this into a tank top. So I just finished the bag. I'll be so honest, I'm not sure that I love it, but I'm gonna block it. Like, the straps are rolling, so I'm gonna block it and see if I can get them bigger and how I like that. With the Kitchener stitch, I think it's good to view these scrap projects as learning experiences. So I definitely did that with the Kitchener stitch. I knew I did the first one wrong. So on the second one, whenever I did it, I must have done something wrong because it told me to use the right side out. So that's what I did. And then I must have done something wrong backwards or something, because then it came out like this. And so I was like, oh, I guess I need to do it wrong side out. And then I think I did it right because it came out the exact same way. So then whenever I did the bottom, I did it right. It's messy, but I did it. So definitely was learning and gaining knowledge of that, but I just am not sure that I love the way that it looks. I have some stuff that I've put in there to kind of mimic what it'll look like, but like this is just so floppy, and I don't know, maybe it's just the yarn that I used, or I don't know, I might just prefer it as a little like this, but I'm gonna block it like I said and see how I like it after that. But now I've been working on these straps all day. I don't know why they took me so long, because I did the body yesterday and it worked up fairly fast, and then the straps I think I was just being slow and distracted. But I'm going to cast on a scrunchie, I think, so. So it's the next day. I've gotten like this far on the scrunchie. I honestly probably could cast off. I've never done a scrunchie before, so I don't know how like long or how like thick that I should make it, but like I don't really think that it matters. It would just kind of depend on how fluffy I want this scrunchie to look. But I still do have quite a bit of yarn. I'm holding this mohair with this. I don't know what this is, but it's so soft. I'm like, this combination would make such a good sweater, but I don't even know what yarn this is, so. But anyway, since I'm trying to get rid of some yarn, I'm just going to continue and make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so I finished the scrunchie. It actually is so cute. It turned out well. It's also, I used like the same, I don't know what it's called. I just know how to do it. But like the cast off, where you kind of cast off the edges together so that it's like, you use it a lot for a collar. But collars are like a huge thing that I need to work on. Like that's a huge area of improvement for me. So like I think that this could be a really good way for me to practice doing collars. Just because I can use a similar technique, but it also matches my shirt like perfect. That's kind of crazy. And I only have this much of this yarn left, which is literally perfect. My mohair, I still have quite a bit left. Also, like, I feel like it's pretty stupid to hold mohair with a scrunchie, but I literally don't know what to use that for, so. Hello guys, it is now Saturday. I didn't film anymore after I left yesterday morning, but I did knit. I knit two things that I'm going to use as like a bookmark. One I kind of used as a way for me to practice doing a lace design because I've never done lace before. So that was more of just a practice kind of swatch, but I did it in a long rectangle so that it could be a bookmark if I wanted it to be. And then I did like the striped one. And then I liked the way that the colors looked striped together. So I casted that on, and I'm going to make this into a scrunchie. So it actually, but that's what I'm doing. I had a long run this morning, and then I went to the farmer's market. And now, like, my body is so tired after my run. So, luckily, it's kind of storming. It's been thundering, and it's supposed to start raining here soon. So, I'm just gonna sit here because I'm so tired. So, yeah, we're just gonna knit. We're gonna watch some YouTube. I might put on a movie later. And, yeah, we'll see. I love whenever like it's storming like this, so I don't feel guilty for not going outside. But I also was like out all morning. Like I woke up and went straight out for my long run, and then I went to the farmer's market and I was there for a while, so I shouldn't feel guilty anyways. And it's always nice to have done my workout early and then to like rest after a long run specifically. So I just finished this scrunchie. I made it a little bit smaller than this one, but I like the way that they've turned out actually quite a bit. And then these are the two bookmarks that I did. And then I've got this, trying to get the straps and like these from rolling in. Okay, so I needed a break from knitting, so I started to crochet these little stars, and I've done doing them in the red and blue again. For some reason, like, these two colors, they just like feel cozy to me. I don't know. But I thought that I could make like a garland out of them, so I finished up the red yarn. Now I'm working with the blue, and we'll see. They obviously need to be like blocked out because they're curling in, but I'm just going to keep doing this for a little bit, and then I think tomorrow I will start with this yarn and do a bandana. So that is my plan. Guys, it is Sunday, and I know that like this entire video is me sitting right here on this couch, but this is where I'm comfortable knitting. So this is where I've been all week, and you know what, that's okay. I had my computer plugged in for a few hours, and I just looked and it hasn't been charging, so I'm gonna have to plug it in. But it's like currently 4 o'clock, but I have been knitting. I've cast on the Marielle. If I said that wrong, I think that's what this is. Marielle scarf, bandana, whatever it is. And I'm actually really having fun doing this pattern. I've done the first 32 rows, and then now I will start repeating the pattern. So that's where I am, but I'm really liking it. You can see it, and it's fun to do, honestly. I'm really enjoying this one. So it is Sunday, like I've said a million times in this one clip, but that means that it's the start of my first week back. Not back, this is a whole new thing for me, but my first week of actually having things to do, because since the end of May I've had literally nothing. So I'm a little like, I have very conflicting emotions about it. I'm excited, but I'm like also like, oh. But my stuff doesn't actually start until Tuesday, so I still have tomorrow, but I do want to like be in that routine of my Sunday reset. So like I've been doing laundry, I've got all my groceries and meal prep plan, all that stuff is done. So that starting tomorrow, like normal on Mondays, it'll be starting all fresh for the week. But yeah, so this is where I am. I'm gonna have to go get my charger because I need to look at the pattern and my computer's dead. Okay guys, so it is a few days later. I have officially started my program and I'm gonna get busy and it's gonna be a hard time making time to knit, but I definitely want to make time for knit. I'm actually about to cast on another project, but I just wanted to hop on here in this video and show you everything that I made while trying to use up my scrap yarn. I will say I still have a bit of scrap yarn, a little pile, but at least now I have these smaller projects that I know I can use my scrap yarn for. Because before I had no idea what to use my scrap yarn for. I'm really bad about that. And I don't even have that big of a yarn collection at all, actually. I actually only have either a little bit of leftover yarn or something that I'm going to work on. So I don't feel too bad about my leftover yarn, especially, like I said, now that I have these ideas. And I also have extra ideas that I wrote down. So whenever I want a smaller project, I can just grab that scrap yarn and cast on one of those. But first things first, and none of these ends are weaved in, by the way. Like I said, I have started my program and my brain went. But I have what I'm going to use as bookmarks. And honestly, like, this one is just like so basic, but it was a use of yarn. And then this one was mainly, honestly, like, it doesn't even, like, you can't even see the pattern really, but it was a good way for me to learn how to read a lace chart. So I think that bookmarks are going to be a good way for me to practice different techniques like that, because I never used lace before, and I did this before I went on and did my bandana, so that was really helpful. Then I have the dumpling bag, which it looks better now that it has been blocked. However, I don't think I will ever use it like this, but I think a little project bag and then like just tying it off like that, where I can throw it into a bigger bag, like my tote bags, and my projects won't get all mixed in with the rest of my stuff, because normally I just throw my project in with everything else. So I think that's what I'm going to use this for, and I think it'll be really good for that. But the whole, I really like the pictures like this, but it just, this doesn't sit right. At least not, maybe this way it does better. But still, there's this whole opening still, so I don't know. I think it'll work better if I can just tie it off, throw it in my bag. It honestly would be a really good makeup bag like this too. Ideas, I might have to make another one. And then I have my 2 scrunchies, which I don't even use scrunchies that often. I need to wear this one right now because it matches my shirt perfect. But it was a super easy, mindless knit, and they work perfect. I want to like honestly get like a little collection of scrunchies going, because this would be a really good thing to just like throw in a gift for somebody. Then all of my stars that the ends have not been weaved in, and I obviously have not put them on to make a garland yet, but that is the plan. And I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna do it. And then the thing that you guys have not seen, and what I neglected to film the most of, is the bandana. And so I was supposed to, there was 2 options. One, if you wanted it more as a shawl, which I did it like that. However, it's smaller like a bandana. However, I'm hoping, I didn't have enough yarn to do the I-cords to tie it. I'm hoping that with blocking it, it's long enough to tie, and I think it is. I tried it on before blocking it, and it was like, probably would have stretched to tie, but so I think with blocking it, it'll be good. But here we are. I did run into some problems with, well, not with the pattern. It was absolutely me. We can see this, like, right here. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing. This row got, like, messed up. But it was absolutely me. What I was doing, and I was trying to, like, I recognized that I was doing it, but even me recognizing the problem, I continued to still do it. Like, my mind just wasn't there, I don't guess. But, like, I would be, how the pattern was written out, I was following the written pattern, not the chart. Maybe the chart would have been better for me, I don't know. But it would have, like, for each row, since it is, like, we were working in a triangle, so it was like, you do this, repeat, like this repeat thing, and then you would, it flipped backwards, and you would repeat it on this side. And I would be in the middle of one repeated part, and then I would start looking at the other one and start doing that one where this one was supposed to be, and I don't know if that's making any sense. But that's what I was doing, and then, so then my numbers kept not adding up, and I had to frog it a few times. Not the whole thing, but I had to frog back a few rows. And then at one point, I was like, I'm just going to pick up a few stitches where I know I'm running, I've miscounted, I don't know what I did, but it worked out, and honestly, I see my mistakes because I know that they're there, but like, I think when it's on my head, like, people aren't going to notice, and that's fine by me. I'm okay if there's a little bit of mistakes and things. It doesn't really bother me for the most part. But anyways, this was my little week before my busy schedule starting grad school. So this was my stash busting knitting week, and now it's time to get into my school schedule. And then also, I'm so ready for fall knits. I have my plans. I'm about to cast on one. I just swatched in this like beautiful orange color, and I think I'm going to cast on the Sandock top for my first knit. It is like a tank, but it's like a turtleneck tank, which I think is going to be a really, really good transition piece to like transition into the cooler weather. So yeah, keep an eye out. I think I'm going to do a project vlog for that. And then also I'm trying to come up with what plans I want to do this fall and into the winter season, and do like a pattern roundup kind of thing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.